What's up, everybody? Ty Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. That patriotic moment was brought to you by the one and only Katt Williams, which I will be 100% honest. I don't always agree with Katt Williams, but I do always know that he is a really great comedian. But the more important part about this particular clip is he took the opportunity to express what I think a lot of us Americans feel when it comes to people from other countries coming here and talking about the United States. And he did it in my home state of Arizona, which I am especially happy for, because anytime Arizona ever shows up on the news, it's not usually going to be good. So I appreciate Katt Williams doing something good in my home state where I could actually be like, okay, I'm glad to see this. Because while I love where I'm from, I will never lie to you and say I don't love Arizona. We're sort of like Florida. I'll put it that way, where the people talk about a Florida man and those stories. Arizona's a lot like that. And if you're from there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I watch like, oh no, what did we do this time? Or if I see a story that just sounds crazy, I'll always be like, please say it wasn't Arizona. Most recently, we had the guy that was on TikTok that was spraying the bug spray on produce in a Walmart. That was an Arizona person. Then we had the lady that died at her desk working for Wells Fargo, and people didn't... It's not funny. It's tragic. Let me get it together, because it is tragic, but it's just a funny story in the way that nobody noticed for several days that this woman was dead at her desk. But that was an Arizona story. And so let's get into this video and see how Katt Williams does it. Oh, just really quick, this video doesn't come with any other context. I tried to find more context or a longer version. There was no longer version. So what must have happened is Katt must have said something about Mexico, and a guy that's from Mexico in the audience gets upset, because you'll notice that when we pick up in the video, it's Katt saying, you think I'm dissing Mexico when I'm defending America. So that's just what I picked up from it, just in case we jump in and anybody's like, what's going on here?
You think I'm dissing Mexico and I'm defending America? Because are you Mexican? Do you know where Mexico is? No, this ain't Mexico. It used to be Mexico, motherfucker, and now it's Phoenix, goddammit.
Not to interrupt too quick here, but I am going to interject, because Mexicans from Mexico, somebody has got to clue you in. If you have a Mexican friend, let them know. If you're a Mexican watching, I'll tell you myself. Saying that any state in the United States is still Mexico is not going to be a winning strategy. That is going to fail you 10 out of 10, because any place you go to used to be something else. And we're dealing with where we're at now. And where we're at now in this video is Arizona, and that is definitely one of the United States. Not only is it one of the United States, Arizona is probably one of the most patriotic states in the Union. So this guy really was barking up the wrong tree in the wrong state on this one. USA! 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 Yeah, you back. I bet you don't leave here and go to Mexico, motherfucker. Go get you some cigarette speech. Pinche cabrón. Called him a pinche cabrón. Katt is ridiculous. And right before that, when Katt said, I bet you won't leave here and go back to Mexico, that's what a lot of us are saying. If you love Mexico so much, go back. I noticed that every Mexican loves Mexico until it's time to go back to Mexico.
You know where you at. USA! 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 I don't give a fuck. No. Motherfuckers think they can live in this country and then still be allegiance to another fucking country. If you love another country more than you love America, motherfucker, then get to step into that bitch.
Get 'em, Katt. Think you can live in this country and have allegiance to another country. That's exactly what the problem is, because here in the United States, we are tired of it. And people try to make it seem like that's either racist or anti-immigrant or xenophobic or white supremacist. It's really not. It really is about across the board, things are changing. Whether you're white, black, Latino, Asian, Native American, we are Americans and we want what's best for our country. So if you're still thinking about and in love with your ex, then you need to leave your current. It's the same kind of situation. It's like you're in a relationship with one person while you're still pining for the other. Just go back to the other, because this one is going to be fine without you. That's the way it works out. Here in the United States, we are happy to unload you if you just want to voluntarily go home. Why should we have to have ICE take you home when clearly you love it there? Just go ahead and of your own volition, book a flight or turn yourself in at the immigration office and just be like, hey, get me home. I'm sure they'll accommodate you. So I really felt that get to step in right at the end. Just hit it. Go on. Go on. Who's holding you? Who's keeping you? Before we go any further, I'm just going to ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. We're on our way to 100,000 subscribers. We're almost to 69K. When you hit the subscribe button, check the bell notification to make sure that you have it set to all so you know every time I upload. Now let's get on with this video.
So if you love Mexico, bitch, get the over there. And as for my Mexican American homies, viva la revolución!
Katt Williams shouting out the Mexican Americans, which I'm glad he did that too, because we are not a part of that mess. If you talk to most Mexican Americans, we are not at all down with what's going on right now. And we are also very patriotic. And it's in a lot of cases because our elders or even friends that are closer to the homeland, as you might say, will tell us how terrible it was. So we know what it was that our elders decided to leave for us to be here, and the way that in a lot of cases we're pushed to do better and be better because that's the reason that we're in this country. We're definitely not trying to still be connected to that over there. Let that be that, and if that's where you want to be, and if you want to continue to struggle and have dirt floors and sell chiclets, you have at that all day long. I've been to Mexico as a tourist, and I can tell you, anytime I've been to Mexico, I have not felt like, yeah, this is home for me. This is where I need to be. And it's not only Mexican Americans that feel this way. If you talk to most Latinos, that's what they'll say. I will play what Pitbull recently said, which Pitbull is Cuban, but he recently said something that was very pro-America.
Whoever the f doesn't like the United States of America, may God bless you, but f you at the same time. If you don't like the United States of America, go back to the countries that we the f from, and you'll see how much you appreciate the United States of America.
And if you know anything about Pitbull and the way he runs, he doesn't care how anybody feels about what he says either. So when you have people like Katt Williams saying it, and then you have Pitbull saying it, and they're both people that you really can't cancel, that's where everybody could draw a little extra strength from and just be like, okay, well, if they're saying it, I guess it's okay for us to express this. And honestly, when people say it in non-hateful ways, like just, we're proud to be from where we're from and we don't want to adopt your way of life here in our country, I don't understand why anybody was ever getting canceled over those kinds of things. One, it fits under freedom of speech. And two, there's nothing hateful about saying it. How is it they're allowed to say that they love Mexico, but if we say we love the United States, suddenly we're racist? So tangent aside, when Katt Williams decided to shout out the Mexican American homies, I'm glad he did that because he made that distinction. So he's like, I'm not saying this to all the Latinos. I'm not saying this to all the Mexicans. I'm just saying, if you're from Mexico, that's what you love. That's what you want to be. That's where you need to go.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what's so You don't know what my family did for this country, bitch. You ain't did shit, nigga. Fuck, we were slaves, bitch. Y'all just work like that at the landscapers, motherfucker.
Okay, so that's the end of the clip, and I couldn't make out all of what Katt said right at the end there, but I know he definitely did make reference to people from his family having been slaves, and then said, y'all just work like it at the landscapers, which is just Katt being Katt and hilarious to me, and it is true. Latinos, Mexicans specifically, are known for working for the landscapers, so there's that. But I'm glad Katt brought up the slave thing as well, because sometimes I don't like when people bring that up, just because I feel like some people use it as a complete crutch. But in this particular context, I think it is good that Katt brought it up, because obviously he was talking specifically about his ancestry. But I do feel like, in general, that's a big part of why so many Americans are turning off completely to anti-American sentiment. Because we all, and I don't care what color you are or how much money you make, but we all, with very little exception, have struggled in this country. And while I think any one of us can admit that this country isn't perfect, it's pretty great. And not only is it pretty great, it's great enough that people will risk their lives to get here and fight tooth and nail to stay. So if you're gonna come here from any other country trying to call yourself American, learn to respect it and love it or leave it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you want to see a video of how not to do crowd work, click the video on your screen. Other than that, as always, thank you for watching. This has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.
They bought into his bullshit.